Candice Bergen is the Deputy Leader of the Official Opposition. She joins me now. Candice Bergen, good to see you again. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Peter. Nice to see you.
Let's start with your assessment of this budget. What do you think?
It's a risky budget. It's an election budget that really isn't thinking about getting people back to work in a serious way, people to work right across the country in every sector. It's a budget that's not thinking about our kids or our grandkids. It's just a lot of spending, which the Liberals like to do. And usually, by the end of it, we know where about half of the money went, and the other half has disappeared or gone to their friends and insiders. So that's what I'm seeing. It's a big budget. I've got more to look at, but our first glance at it, it's a risky Liberal election budget that is spending a lot of money and not getting Canadians back to work.
It's spending a lot of that money on the centerpiece of the budget, which is the childcare program, $30 billion up front, $8 billion a year after that. If it does get off the ground after all these many years of talking about it, is your party prepared to vote against a budget and that childcare package?
Well, we're going to talk about it as a caucus, but listen, it's almost laughable when you see the Liberals talk about creating a universal childcare program or spaces. I mean, they've been promising that for so many years, I've actually forgotten how long it's been. Conservatives are the ones who actually introduced a program or a universal childcare benefit that actually gave money to families directly, and the Liberals adopted that and they've continued it. So I don't trust the Liberals when it comes to childcare. I don't trust them to respect that families have different needs based on where they live, based on if they want maybe other family members to look after their children, if they want to be having some creativity with childcare. The Liberals don't ever seem to respect that. For them, it's kind of a one-size-fits-all. And they talk about spending this money and creating spaces, but there really is no plan. My understanding is they haven't even talked to the provinces about this so-called childcare plan.
That's all still. I mean, a lot of the measures in this budget hinge on conversations with the provinces about areas of provincial jurisdiction. But on the childcare piece, how concerned are you that voting against that plan? I mean, the government portrays this plan as, look, it's not just a social plan; it's really an economic plan. 16,000 women dropped out of the workforce during the pandemic. We need to give them options to get back into the workforce and stay there. So, if voting that idea down, how concerned are you that costs you votes with working women?
Well, we're talking to women directly. I can tell you, I'm whether it's on Zoom or I've been able to in Manitoba go out safely, meet with some small businesses, women entrepreneurs, women who've had to be at home now trying to teach their children school lessons while at the same time working, and women have borne the brunt of this pandemic. But the Liberals have failed to deliver previously in supporting them where they needed to be supported. I mean, we've seen this before with Trudeau. He's a lot of talk on feminism, a lot of talk on respecting and supporting women, but it's his actions that are speaking louder than words. So I think that I know you're going to see a plan from Conservatives that will once again respect and value the work that women do and value the fact that women want to have choice when it comes to childcare. Families want to have choice. Families don't want the government telling them what to do. And then, again, these are the same women who care about their kids and they're thinking about their grandkids. And I'm hearing from moms and dads who are very concerned with this massive spending when there is no plan and no fiscal way to get back to any kind of responsibility. And we're still seeing small businesses shutting down. You know, Bay Street's doing fine, but I can tell you Main Street in a lot of our ridings are not doing fine. Main Street is shutting down, and the Liberals disappointed them with no plan for today and for sure no plan for the future.
So all of this is happening, of course, in the context of a likely election in the months ahead at some point in the not too distant future. So you're saying Conservatives will be coming out with their own childcare plan soon?
You will see a childcare plan from Conservatives. You know, we're also in the context, and this is what most people are consumed with right now. It's the third wave of a pandemic. We have a prime minister who had a couple of jobs he needed to do and needed to do them well. One was procuring vaccines, and he didn't do it. And I can tell you here, even in Manitoba, you're seeing in Ontario, in BC, the third wave coming, where other countries are starting to open up because they're getting vaccinated, and our Prime Minister couldn't get that done. So I don't have a lot of faith in him. I'll be very frank. I do not have a lot of faith in the Prime Minister to be able to get it done.
There's another $18 billion in spending in this budget to green the economy, investments to allow companies to green operations, loans for retrofits, tax incentives for carbon capture technologies, and so on, all to try and help the government reach its zero emissions, a net zero economy, and reach its emissions targets. So your leader in your party just unveiled last week your own climate plan with a federal price on carbon. So what do you think of what the Liberals put on offer here today? How is it different from what you're offering?
Well, you know, it's interesting because I've been meeting with a lot of venture capitalists and other groups who they've said to me directly, the Liberals have announced a lot of money to support initiatives, but we're never seeing the money. They're trying to pick winners and losers, and it ends up being well-connected Liberals who get the funding. And so that does concern me, even with this initiative to green our economy. Will it, number one, actually get to those who can do a good job of reducing emissions? And it's usually not government that knows how to pick those winners and losers. And then will it actually reduce emissions? And can Canada play a role in reducing global emissions? We believe as Conservatives that Canada can with our green technology. So the Liberals aren't showing how this spending will get to the organizations, the companies, the sectors that can reduce emissions and keep jobs in Canada and grow jobs in Canada. I think, and I've seen the Liberals do this before, where certain parts of our economy, natural resources, for example, are shamed and ignored and basically told you just have to shut down. That does nothing to help reduce global emissions, and it sure hurts jobs in this country. So that's what we're seeing more of with this budget.
All right, Candice Bergen, the Deputy Leader of the Conservative Party, the official opposition. Thanks for your time tonight. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.